These pipes make every aspect of our daily lives possible. From the soles on our shoes, to the clothing we wear, to the cell phone we can't put down. Virtually every aspect of modern society is made possible by the extensive network of buried pipes. Pipelines transport the resources needed to make the products we use, heat, cool, and light our homes, cook and keep our food from spoiling, and power the vehicles we have come to depend on. Isn't it funny that the things we end up relying on the most are the things that we ultimately take for granted, and then in many ways end up resenting? Like, why do I have to call 811? It's my yard, I want to dig. What has to happen in this country for people to get their heads out of the sand? In Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, a subcontractor piggybacked off another contractor's ticket, and with a lack of communication, misunderstandings, assumptions, and a hurry to get the job done attitude, a massive explosion occurred when a 2-inch gas main was struck. The explosion destroyed 6 buildings and killed 1 firefighter, sending more to the hospital. This educational video is part of the MISTIG 811 certification program, and this particular video was created to inform the viewer about the dangers of damaged facilities. Sun Prairie is a small Midwestern town of 33,000 residents, located in south-central Wisconsin, 30 minutes from Madison. Sun Prairie is like many small Midwestern towns with a growing vision into the future, while they hold on to their colorful history. Sun Prairie continues to celebrate events and festivals, which includes Groundhog Day and midget car racing. Sun Prairie is just a small, normal town, just like any other. On Tuesday, July 10th, 2018, the residents of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin awoke to a quiet morning. People went to work and businesses opened their doors as usual. Regular morning traffic traveled up and down the main street. It was a normal day in Sun Prairie. The town, like many others, was growing, and construction projects advanced that growth. A construction project to bore conduit for 5G services down Main Street quietly continued its job. A normal day in the growing town of Sun Prairie. After the evening rush hour traffic wound down, the day seemed to be coming to an end. At 6:19 p.m., an employee from the boring company working on the Main Street project called 911.
Okay, all right, tell me exactly what happened.
It's we doing a construction work and we hit the gas main.
Okay, so you hit a gas line?
Yes, the gas line, yes.
Do you hear the gas or smell it only?
You hear it and smell it.
Both.
Bad, it's bad.
Shortly after receiving the 911 call, emergency crews arrived and began to barricade and evacuate the downtown area. Most people went on with what they were doing, even though the smell of gas was present, and roadblocks inconvenienced drivers. Emergency responders continued to evacuate customers and staff from the downtown businesses. Local residents were also moved out of the area. Most thought they would only be troubled for a few minutes, and then go right back to their normal routines. Around 7 p.m., the area was evacuated of citizens. At 7:04 p.m., emergency crews were doing a final sweep for evacuation. Then the explosion occurred. The explosion was so massive that it destroyed 6 buildings on the 100 block of Main Street. Flames reached 4 stories high with black smoke visible for miles. The explosion not only destroyed part of the town and its history, it also took the life of one of its firefighters. Captain Corey Barr was 34 years of age and a 16-year veteran of the Sun Prairie Fire Department. Corey Barr, along with being a captain in the fire department, owned and operated a business called Barr House, on the 100 block of Main Street. Corey was not on duty during the time of the explosion, but felt compelled to help with the evacuation process. The explosion occurred shortly after he stepped outside of his business to help with the final sweep of the evacuation process. Corey left behind his wife Abby of almost 6 years of marriage and twin daughters, Aubrey and Haley, 3 years of age. At his funeral on July 14th, thousands arrived to pay respects to a fallen hero. 11 other emergency personnel were injured in the explosion, including firefighter Ryan Welch, who was hospitalized with severe injuries and burns. Welch attended Barr's funeral in his dress blues 4 days later. Because of the evacuation efforts by emergency personnel, 250 people were saved from the explosion. July 10th, 2018 will always be a day of celebration because of the lives that were saved, but it will always remain a tragedy in the hearts of others. A city lost a good man and a business owner. A department lost a brother. A family lost a husband, a father, a son, and a brother. And the world lost a smile, said Sun Prairie Fire Chief Christopher Garrison. As previously mentioned, Sun Prairie, Wisconsin was a normal small town, like thousands of other small towns. Before July 10th, 2018, Sun Prairie was known by many as the place where the events and festivals took place. Residents of Sun Prairie never thought that the events of July 10th, 2018 could ever happen to their town. After July 10th, 2018, countless will remember it as the small town that suffered a devastating gas explosion and the loss of one of its own, Corey Barr. July 10th, 2018 will be known as the darkest event and the most infamous day in the town's history. So how could the impossible happen? By a combination of mistakes, miscommunication, misinformation, and a need to get the job done attitude caused the devastating events in Sun Prairie on that anything but normal day. The communication company that hit the 2-inch gas main was subcontracted by another communication company that was subcontracted by the communication company that was originally contracted to install the 5G communication services. The second subcontractor had also piggybacked off a ticket that was placed by the first subcontractor in May of 2018. Communication between the subcontractors was spotty and inaccurate. The locating of the gas main was also mismarked. The locator followed the traffic light facilities 25 feet off the sidewalk into the road. What was supposed to be located was a 4-inch gas main running in the right-of-way of Main Street. What was struck was a 2-inch gas main that teed off the 4-inch gas main in the intersection of Main and Bristol Streets. With dig notices good for only 30 days in Wisconsin, at least 2 more tickets should have been placed, which may have caught the locating mistake. Investigations, demolition of damaged structures, and other cleanup of the site began. Days following the explosion, 3 more evacuations occurred due to gas leaks, putting the town on edge. Nothing was normal anymore. Lawsuits and fines were also being filed as everybody and anybody were looking to push blame on the incident. Corey Barr's widow, Abby Barr, also faced a lawsuit a few months after the explosion. With Corey and Abby's business, the Barr House, destroyed, a lawsuit was being filed for non-payment for the bar that she and Corey had purchased. Corey Barr awoke July 10th, 2018, the same as everyone else did that morning, to a normal day. Corey had nothing to do with the contractor, subcontractors, or the locators that were working on the Main Street project. The Barr family will forever be affected by this incident. On July 10th, 2019, a ceremony was held on the 1-year anniversary of the explosion, in front of the Sun Prairie Firehouse. Abby Barr was presented with the sign that hung on the Barr House that had survived the explosion. A statue will also be built of a firefighter holding Captain Corey Barr's helmet, badge number 138, in his honor. Sun Prairie Fire Chief Christopher Garrison also said, This location and statue is the desire of Corey's wife, Abby, and is meant to commemorate Corey's ultimate sacrifice to remind us that we may never be complacent and forget that this tragedy could happen, even in Sun Prairie.